Hello guys, this is Ishita, the legal intern at LEXIQ. Today I'm gonna tell you guys about the consideration and legal laws connected to it. So, what is consideration? According to Pollock, consideration is the price for which the promise of the other is brought, and the promise therefore given for value is enforceable. Now, according to section 2D, when at the desire of the promiser, the promisee or any other person has done or abstained from doing or does or abstains from doing or promises to do or abstain from doing something in future, such act or absistence or promise is called consideration for the promise. Example, if P agrees to sell his car to Q for rupees 50,000. Here Q's price to pay rupees 50,000 is the consideration for P's promise, and P's promise to sell the car is the consideration for Q's promise. Now I'm going to tell you about the legal rules regarding consideration. It must move at the desire of the promiser. It may move from the promisee or any other person. It may be an act, absistence or forbearance or a return promise. It may be present, past or future. So consideration need not to be educate, but it must have some value in the eyes of law. It must be real or not illusory. It must be something which the promiser is not already bound to do. It must not be illegal, immoral or opposed to public policy. So first point, it must move at the desire of the promiser. It must be offered at the desire or the request of the promiser. An act done at the desire or request of the third party does not form a valid consideration. The second point, it may move from the promisee or any other person. Consideration may move from the promisee or any other person even if he is a stranger. Third point, it may be an act, absistence or forbearance or a return promise. The following are good consideration for the contract. Number 1, forbearance to sue, compromise of a disputed claim. Third, composition with creditors. Number 4 point, it may be present, past or future. Past consideration, present or executed consideration, future or executory consideration. 5. Consideration need not to be adequate, but it must have some values. It must be real and not illusory. There is no consideration in the cases like physical impossibility, legal impossibility, uncertain consideration. It must be something which the promiser is not already bound to do. By general law or under an existing contract is not a good consideration. Unlawful consideration includes any activity which is forbidden by law, is fraudulent, is of such nature it will defeat a provision of any law, involves any injury to the person or the property of another. The court regard it as immoral or proposed or opposed to the public policy. Exceptions of the rules are also there. I'm gonna brief you out. No consideration, no contract. On account of natural love and affection, such agreements are enforceable even without consideration. For voluntary services, a promise to consideration wholly or in part, a person who has voluntarily done something for the promiser is enforceable even without consideration. For the promise to pay time-bound debts, a promisee by a debtor to pay a time-bound debt is enforceable provided it is in writing and signed by the debtor or his agent. Fourth, in case of the completed gifts, the rule no consideration, no contract does not apply. 5. In case of agency, to create an agency relationship, consideration is not necessary. Remission by the promisee on performance of the promise. A creditor can agree to excuse for a whole debt or a part of it without any consideration for doing so. A promisee can agree to extend the time of the performance of promisee. For example, X owns rupees 500 to Y, X pays rupees 100 and Y accepts it in full satisfaction of his claim. So guys, that was all with the consideration and legal laws related to it. I hope you like it. Please like the video, subscribe the channel and comment down. Thank you.